Welcome to Home Care Matters, the show where we discuss all things home care, with discussions on important age-related matters and topics. Brought to you by Enriched Life Home Care Services, the #1 rated home care provider in Michigan by Top Rated Local.
Hello, and welcome back to All Home Care Matters. If this is your first time visiting us here at the show, we want to say thank you for taking time out to be with us today. We appreciate how valuable everyone's time is, and that's why we try and make each episode here at All Home Care Matters something that will hopefully matter to you. Before we get started, we would like to take a quick moment and to say thank you to everyone for their support and encouragement. This is our 50th episode of All Home Care Matters, and we would not be here if it weren't for all of you. We have received countless emails and comments and feedback from you sharing what the show has meant to you, and from some of you how it has helped in even the smallest of ways. So from everyone here at All Home Care Matters, thank you. When a loved one's diagnosed with a cognitive problem, it can be devastating. In a lot of ways, watching a parent or grandparent suffer from memory loss or a change in personality feels like a devastating loss. Your parent or grandparent just isn't the same. Still, there are ways to cope with this difficult news and ways to maintain a meaningful relationship with your parent, even once they have lost their memory or are suffering from cognitive difficulties. Today, we're going to talk about how to cope with a loved one's diagnosis so you can have the tools you need to get through this period together. First of all, keep in mind that you and your parent are not alone. According to the CDC, 1 in 9 adults suffer from subjective cognitive decline in their older years. This most commonly occurs in the form of Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's disease, or a brain tumor. Stroke victims also often face cognitive difficulties. With a diagnosis, often comes a major lifestyle change. Dementia patients, for instance, will usually require constant care and may need professional assistance in the home or have to move into a long-term care facility or nursing home, depending on their circumstances. It can be devastating to watch a parent go from living independently to needing full-time care fairly quickly, while you are still trying to make sense of the diagnosis. Along with major lifestyle changes, cognitive difficulties might lead to behavioral changes that can be frustrating or disheartening to witness. You might find that your parent is easily irritable, paranoid, or even aggressive. Try to remember that while it hurts to see a parent behave this way, nothing that they say or do is a personal attack. It's a rage that stems from their disease, and they have little to no control over it. If you feel like you don't recognize your mom or find yourself thinking, "Dad would never say something like that," remind yourself that it's the disease talking and not your parent. To protect your parent and yourself during this time, it's essential that you practice patience, compassion, and good humor. Getting angry with your parent isn't productive. They don't understand what they're saying or why, and at the end of the day, all they need is your love and support. Your anger or frustration could only make them more confused. With that in mind, begin your visits with the expectation that not all days are good and that there is a chance mom or dad won't be in the brightest mood today. It's important that you savor the good days for when your loved one has their more difficult days. If you go into the visit with this in mind, you are better preparing yourself to remain calm and rational in the case of an emotional outbreak. Now, maintaining control over your emotions might feel impossible, right? Cognitive difficulties lead to an overload of mixed feelings. You might find that you're both heartbroken and angry when your mom lashes out, or that you want to hug your mom as much as in that moment you want to get away from her. This is normal, I promise. There will be days where you feel frustrated, hurt, and overwhelmed, where you just want a break, even though you love your parents more than anything. It's so important that you allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling without guilt. Don't show these emotions to your parents, but make room for them in the rest of your life. Make sure that while you're caring for your parent, you are caring for yourself too. Confide in a friend or a spouse. Write in a journal. Go on long walks. Take hot baths. The more you practice self-care, the better prepared you will be to care for your loved one. I can't emphasize that enough. You're much more likely to lose patience or get outwardly frustrated with your mom or dad if you are exhausted and neglecting your own needs. Self-care might sound cliche, but it's a necessary step to caring for others. While you're caring for yourself, you'll also want to educate yourself on your parents' new diagnosis. The more you know about what's happening inside of their brains, the more you can be there for them, and the more you'll know what to expect. You also might find that the information is comforting. After all, the unknown can be really scary. When you have an idea of what you are facing, less is left up in the air. Learning about the disease is also a great way to stay in the know when it comes to possible new treatments or medications. Talk to your doctor about the best resources to look into and listen to their advice when it comes to how best care for your parent. You'll also want to help your parent be as comfortable as possible in their new life. If they had to move into a long-term care facility, help them decorate their new surroundings with sentimental furniture or art. Make sure that their living space is kept clean and their things are properly organized. Making their new place feel like home will help them to get more comfortable faster, and they might feel calmer and more relaxed as a result. You can also help your parent to improve their mental difficulties by playing mind games with them. And no, I don't mean manipulating them. I mean playing games that help to strengthen their memory function. A mind game can be any game that keeps a person's brain stimulated and engaged. Board games, card games, or puzzles are a great place to start. Puzzles have actually been proven to help strengthen seniors' mental health, and they're a lot of fun too. You can also read with your parent, write with them, or even help them learn a new instrument, depending on their current abilities. The Washington Post had reported that learning an instrument helps a person to process memory speed and enhance verbal fluency. Reading and writing help to reduce stress and get better sleep. Helping your loved one to keep up with friends can also make a big difference. The more a person is stimulated, the more their brain is engaged and building strength. And what's more stimulating than a fun hangout with friends? Arrange weekly or bi-weekly engagements with your parents' friends, even if it's over Zoom. Not only can socialization help their minds, but it can also help keep them from feeling lonely and even depressed. If you want to make sure that you're on top of your parents' progress, but you can't be around as often as you'd like to be, make sure to stay in close contact with their caregivers. Stay informed not only about their treatment and progress, but also about their socialization and how often they have access to games and hobbies. If you get the impression that your parent isn't doing enough to engage their minds, mail a care package of puzzles and other games to them, and ask the caregivers to challenge your parent to a friendly competition. When you focus on your own needs while allowing yourself to feel what you needed to while you face these difficult circumstances, you are equipping yourself with the energy and strength you need to care for your parent with patience and compassion. No matter what, it can be devastating to watch a parent suffer from cognitive impairment, but with the right tools, you can make the process easier and more meaningful for everyone. We want to thank you for joining us here at All Home Care Matters. All Home Care Matters is here for you and to help families as they navigate long-term care issues. Please visit us at allhomecarematters.com. There is a private, secure, fillable form where you can give us feedback, show ideas, or if you have questions. Every form is read and responded to. And if you know someone who could benefit from this episode, please share it with them. And remember, you can listen to the show on any of your favorite podcast streaming platforms and watch the show on our YouTube channel. And make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you'll never miss an episode. Please join us next time as we discuss the different long-term care options available and what might be the right choice for you.
Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to you joining us again on another episode of Home Care Matters. To learn more about the show and to connect with us, visit us at allhomecarematters.com.